Welcome back to the Archive Network. Aurelius here with Malik, curators of the Classified Archive. We left Alexander Litvinenko poisoning last time but the full scope of the conspiracy was far from revealed. Today we pick up where we left off. As the investigation into Alexander Litvinenko's poisoning unfolded, the stakes grew higher. Forensic teams raced against time. Every detail of his final days mattered. On November 1st, 2006, Litvinenko was admitted to the Royal London Hospital, and his condition deteriorated rapidly. Toxicologists began their work in a small, sterile room, unaware of the chilling evidence they would soon uncover.
But it wasn't just about the forensic work, Aurelius. Litvinenko's rapid decline highlighted something deeper. This was a man who had faced threats before, and now he was fighting for his life. The presence of polonium-210 in his urine was not just a toxic revelation. It was a testament to the lengths his enemies would go to silence dissent.
You're absolutely right about the implications, Malik. Polonium-210 is virtually undetectable and deadly even in the tiniest amounts. It paints a chilling picture of how his murder was meticulously planned, layer upon layer of deceit. Only a state actor could pull off something like this, given how rare the isotope is. It's a reminder of the lengths to which those in power will go, the cold calculations they make. History shows us that such actions are often just a means to an end.
But framing it as an act of an empire oversimplifies the situation. This wasn't merely about state power. It was personal. The evidence showed that Litvinenko was targeted for his dissent, and that speaks volumes about the nature of political repression. His paranoia wasn't just a symptom of illness. It was a reflection of the very real threats he faced daily.
True, his last statement was powerful. I am dying because of the Russian state. I want justice. Those words added urgency to the investigation. They transformed him from a mere victim into a martyr for a cause. And the timeline of events with Lugovoy arriving in London just days before Litvinenko fell ill is troubling.
But it was more than just timing, Aurelius. It was the very nature of his encounters. Witnesses reported that Litvinenko became increasingly paranoid. His fear was palpable. He believed he was being followed, and that speaks to the psychological toll of living under such threats. His murder was not just a political act. It was a calculated terror tactic.
The urgency of the investigation grew as his fears became palpable. As forensic evidence piled up, investigators tracked down Lugovoy and Kovdentai. Their ties to Russian intelligence weren't just circumstantial, they were glaring. Surveillance footage from the Millennium Hotel captured them meeting Litvinenko. This wasn't just a chance encounter. It painted a clear picture of premeditated violence, a methodical approach that we often see in political power plays. The implications were staggering and left us questioning the very nature of statecraft.
Yet, the investigation was riddled with complications. The Russian government's denial of involvement was predictable. They quickly labeled the allegations as a Western conspiracy, as if that somehow made it all go away. This denial only obscured the truth further, creating a narrative that allowed them to deflect responsibility. It wasn't just about the murder of one individual. It was about a much larger game of international politics that had real consequences for countless lives.
That diplomatic crisis escalated dramatically when Litvinenko died on December 13th, 26. His passing sent shockwaves through the international community. Prime Minister Tony Blair condemned it as an appalling crime, and rightly so. The stakes were raised. This wasn't just an ordinary poisoning. It was a state-sponsored assassination that demanded a robust response. We saw nations grappling with the implications, trying to navigate the murky waters of diplomacy while dealing with the fallout. It was a stark reminder of how power plays out on the global stage.
And yet, the British response was complicated by diplomatic tensions. The refusal of Russia to extradite Lugovoy and Kovtun was a major hurdle. Their claims of absurdity and the charges only fueled skepticism. It's clear that the investigation wasn't just about justice for Litvinenko. It was a litmus test for Western resolve against Russian aggression.
The pursuit of justice, as we've seen, faced significant hurdles. The investigation laid bare a chilling pattern of state-sponsored violence against dissidents, a systematic effort to silence opposition. Marina Litvinenko's quest for accountability became a painful symbol of the human cost involved. Her emotional appeals drew attention to the personal toll on families trapped in the crossfire of political games. These stories remind us of the real lives affected by the ruthless machinery of power.
But this isn't just about individual tragedies. The broader implications are staggering when you look at the bigger picture. The assassination of Litvinenko is part of a disturbing pattern aimed at silencing dissent. Take Anna Politkovskaya, for example. Her murder highlights a systemic effort to eliminate voices that challenge the regime. It's a chilling reminder of how far governments will go to stifle criticism, leaving behind a trail of fear and loss that affects us all.
Ultimately, the investigation into Litvinenko's poisoning reveals a web of evidence implicating not just individual actors, but a larger narrative of state violence. This story isn't finished yet. The public inquiry announced in January 2007 will uncover dark truths about espionage and political murder. The stakes are high, and the implications reach far beyond one man's death.
That's where we leave it this time. Alexander Litvinenko, poisoning continues. The story isn't finished yet. Find the full series on the Classified Archive, part of the Archive Network. We'll be back with the next chapter.